Hey guys, it's been a while and some of you may even forgotten that you are subscribed to this channel. Maybe for the better, because I don't think that I'll be doing any Path of Exile videos anymore. Maybe one or two, but in this video I wanted to talk about what I've been working on. It's sort of like a channel update. I never made a video of like I quit video or anything like that. You just kind of just quietly quit, I guess. So last year I spent over 1,000 hours learning Blender and how to do stuff in Blender, and I did a kind of a small project, and I realized that I really want to bring what I create into life, and sort of the only approachable or feasible way of doing that would be to make a video game. So this year for the last 2 months I've been locked in and learning how to work in Unreal Engine 5, and I don't have like a programmer's brain, and Unreal Engine 5 allows you to do stuff in kind of blueprints and connect things and less coding, but it's still really hard for me to wrap my head around certain things, but I am really enjoying this, and for those last 2 months I sometimes would spend like 10 hours a day just locked in, no distractions, no social media, no YouTube videos, anything, just learning on this. I want to talk about this may be a bit longer video, and at the end I'm going to talk about Path of Exile a bit because I am planning on streaming and returning to it just for a bit. But the main point of this video is going to be talking about I'm learning to make video games, but also making a video game at the same time. Some of you may recognize this area, and this is, by the way, not going to be like a commercial video game. First of all, I'm learning, and I really like sci-fi. So sci-fi is one of the coolest things, one of the coolest like themes for me, and the best sci-fi video game ever made was Anarchy Online. And no one decided to make like a second Anarchy Online, and that game is like 20 plus years old. So I decided to use that as like my sort of like a blueprint. Just try to copy one of the dungeons in that game, Subway. So some of you may recognize this area, and I'm gonna show a bit more and my progress basically. But I'm not even sure if I should be making this video because from the side this may not look like anything impressive or anything, but when you yourself are making stuff, it feels a lot more impressive. Even small things like, oh, I made a UI which you can allocate stats and stuff like that. From the side, it's just, okay, that's just UI, but when you are making stuff yourself and you finally figure it out after a few days of battling that, and you finally figure it out, it feels rewarding and feels like an accomplishment. So I don't know how it's gonna look from viewers' perspective. So my inspiration was Subway from Anarchy Online. So the Subway, by the way, this is a very old game, and still to this day, this game is one of the best and most memorable sci-fi MMORPGs. I don't even know how to describe it. I didn't play this game like hardcore, but I have very fond memories of it. And by the way, I was playing in the some private server, which is like an emulator. So this game is like very old now, and basically I've been using this recording for the most part just to kind of figure out the scale and how everything should look. Those who have never played this game, I just wanted to give you a sample of how the game looked like. There's basically the entrance to this subway, a bit of corridor, and then stairs down through the weird doors. And this game has this sort of like a very futuristic sci-fi, but also very kind of grounded feel. You see these doors and it looks like a doors from modern age, or I don't know how to say it. It's like very grounded and believable, but also it has like very futuristic sci-fi elements. So this is the theme that I'm trying to, I guess, copy, because I'm literally just trying to copy this as close as possible as I can and imitate it. I'm not trying to innovate anything yet. This is just my tutorial, I guess. So you go through the corridor and it opens up into the bigger area, which then splits into the left part and the right part, and the dungeon just kind of continues. So for the environment, I did up to this part. I'm gonna show you in a moment. Maybe I'm gonna show how it looks right now, but it's not really a playable version. I'm hoping I will have like some sort of playable version in few months if Path of Exile won't distract me too much. I basically started with adding the environment. You normally don't start with the environment, I assume, but I really needed to kind of get a feel of the scale and how it's gonna be imported into the Unreal and how it's gonna, because it's not one-to-one how it looks in Blender. I did this in Blender and I wanted to see how it looks imported, sort of like a quick version of this environment. Can always add details later on. This is how it looks for now. The corridor, it's missing the stand, which is actually here, but the lights don't appear until you approach closer, so there are some weirdness in Unreal Engine that I didn't expect. I started off by designing this base environment for me to run around and do some experiments and tests, and later I went and did like a very long course on YouTube making anime AI, and that was very interesting, because if you like Path of Exile and you like passive trees, then this has trees upon trees within trees within trees. Maybe actually I guess I can show. That's basically the anime AI behavior tree. And this is pretty simple so far. I'm gonna show the enemies that I have and the UI that I have, but for now I just wanted to show the environment first. But there are some enemies fighting. Actually, maybe I should have removed those enemies. Actually, whatever. I'm just gonna quickly show the environment. This part, I know this part is light leaking, so I'll have to block out the walls and to prevent light leaking from the edges, but I actually like how colors match, and it gives me better understanding of how Unreal Engine kind of works and how the lights works and how reflections and everything else works. So I have some enemies running around. I'm just gonna quickly go through them. Don't want to fight them. Just gonna show the boss killed the rest of the enemies. So this is like a very basic environment so far, just big open area where I can experiment and set up the enemies to fight. What I learned and did in those 2 months. The enemies, they do have the behavior tree, and they can fight. We have some attacks. I also made a system with the patrol points, so these points you see are the patrol points, so I can very quickly just set the name for the patrol point and then give or assign that point to each enemy that I place. We're gonna be kind of patrolling between those points randomly. I'm gonna place some enemies, all the different enemies, and make them fight each other. Right, so right now this is like a boss enemy. I was also experimenting with in Anarchy Online, don't think that I have it recorded. There's some sort of glow around special bosses called Dyna bosses. And I've been experimenting with that as well to see what you can do. And you can do so many cool effects on as a material, as overlay on the materials. So this is the boss, it has the most attacks. I'm gonna show, but these attacks are none in Anarchy Online. This was just going through the tutorial and seeing what I can do and how it works. Anarchy Online is a tap targeting, like the battle system is, you fill up these attack bars and recharge bars, and then it executes the attack. When you fill up this bar, if you start attacking, it will always hit. It's like a hit scan. So that was the first question. How should I do this? Should I do this as Anarchy Online does? Fill up these bars, and if it's full, you just perform an attack, and no matter where you are, you're gonna hit the target, even if the target just ran behind the wall. I don't really like that in Anarchy Online, but it would make it a lot simpler. But right now, when enemy performs an attack, in most cases we perform like a sphere trace from them towards the target. And if that sphere trace, invisible sphere trace, collides with the enemy, it does the attack and does damage to them. So that's what I have right now. I do not have tap targeting implemented, but I did implement like selecting enemy, and it shows, well actually, let me show you this. If I just hide somewhere to avoid being attacked, actually I'm gonna go into the toilet. I'm just gonna spawn here. I think the boss is not gonna attack me. Okay, so I can actually select the enemy, and the same kind of border appears as it is in this game in Anarchy Online. So then I can select a new enemy, and also the health bar. This is just, oh, why does it not show the name? Wait, why does that not have a name? Oh, that should not... Okay, I found a new bug. So yeah, each enemy has its own attacks, like these enemies, for example. This is like a simulating soldier. We have like a burst attack right now, and we also have like a heal. And there's also an enemy AI where if, for example, this gets low on health, it runs to hide and heals. These, for example, like martial artists in Anarchy Online, we just have unarmed attacks and also dodge skill. So sometimes we just kind of get down on the ground, indicate that we are dodging some attack. It was very fun working with those animations. But obviously I don't have animations, so I would need to make animations as well. So these, for example, have grenade launcher. We are very slow, but projectiles do home onto target. I didn't want to make very sharp like homing ability, but maybe I'll do that. So that's another thing. Should I do tap targeting? But then I couldn't really do like a homing skills, and it would just pass through, but it would still hit you. So I don't know how I should set this up. This guy also can teleport. If I get too close, oh wait, no. When I get too close, it throws a grenade. Whoops. Did I disable the teleport? Right, okay, I guess I can show the boss. The boss has this ability, how it tried to teleport. It has kick ability, it has leap to get closer ability, just normal swings, and repurpose those normals. And if the enemy becomes out of line of sight, it uses that laser ability. Throwing katana when it's from far away, kicking when it's too close. Oh, dead. The boss is OP. So basically each enemy has different skills right now. But none of those skills are what they are in Anarchy Online. Yeah, that's the enemy AI that I set up, and I don't know what to do. Should I do the tap targeting as it is in Anarchy Online, or should I do more action combat? Because I thought that it would work better with tap targeting, but it's actually harder to do tap targeting than action combat, because action combat does not need logic when to select the target. For example, the enemy somehow needs to know when a player selects them, and what does selecting them even mean. That was one weird thing that it took some time to figure out how to do it, and the tap targeting still does not work right now. So I guess I also kind of need a feedback if you are interested in this project, if you are interested in Anarchy Online. Like seriously, think about what would a newer Anarchy Online would even need to have. Should it have the same like system as it was in Anarchy Online like 20 plus years ago? The game is also popular because it's kind of very chill. It's not stressful. It can be depending what you are doing, but it's also a lot slower pace because like you're not attacking 10 times per second. As you can see, it's at most like once per second. So you wait, you fill up the bar. I have not implemented the bar yet. Fill up the bar and you attack. So should it be like that? I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna do like an action combat approach first, and then at the same time implement the tap targeting and see how it works and what doesn't. The next thing, which is probably gonna feel like insignificant to you, but to me it was a big headache to figure out. Not necessarily headache. I really like solving these problems, and even if I spend 2-3 days on one thing just to try to figure out how it works or how to make it work, I still feel like it's not a waste of time because it just was interesting to me. The star system. I just recently finished this, but it's not fully done yet, so I don't have these implemented yet. So for now it only has like the basic stats. In Anarchy Online, all these basic stats contribute to all the other stats. As you can see here, every little tab of this is different skills, and these skills gain value from the base stats. So like the strength, stamina contributes to those. For example, stamina contributes 100% for the body development, which is this, and body development is basically health. It's just health. So right now I do not have stamina affecting body development. Normally it should be. So I haven't figured that out yet, and I just recently finished setting up these stats. We can click a button, and it feels like from our side probably a very simple small thing. Oh, you click a button and it increases the start, and it also increases the progress bar. But to me that was very difficult to do. It also changes the color. Wow, changes the color. I don't want to bore you with like a technical things, but it's just interaction and information transferring between things and remembering those things. Right now, for example, if I put points into body development, which increases the health, it will increase my health. Did it increase the health? I didn't notice. Yes, it does increase the health. I haven't really built a logic for it, so this is just changing the health directly. Another really big thing that I haven't done yet, but I did like 3 different inventory tutorials, and none of them, there was always something that went wrong, and because I didn't really understand how it works, I can't really finalize and fix it. Actually, I believe I can loot this. Yes, I can loot these. So that was one of the tutorials that I was following. And I can drag, but it's currently bugged, and if I place it here, this one's still here, but this one is not here. So currently it doesn't quite work. Eventually I will learn it and do it myself. And that was another inventory system that looked better, but also when I try to unequip one of the things, it always unequips from this, so I can't figure out why. Because like I said, I was following the tutorial and didn't quite understand it. It's very difficult for me to understand how you transfer information from item on the ground that you pick up, which then turns into an icon, and that icon still has to hold all the information about the item. When you pick up to drag it, it has to create a new icon, and that new icon has to store the information from the original item, and when you drop it, it has to delete the previous item or icon and create a new icon elsewhere, and sort the array of inventory elements, or make sure that nothing overlaps. Like if you drop on this, for example, what would happen? It needs a logic to replace it. There's so many small things that seem small things, but it's very difficult for me to understand how to make it work. In Anarchy Online, the way items work is that we have quality level. And for example, level 1 item will obviously have lower stats than quality level 2 of the same item. And that's how items are in Anarchy Online. You can have the same named item, but it's gonna have different quality level, and it will be with different stats. So I made a small system as well that allows me to test spawning items. So I'm spawning a bunch of items, and as you can see, the damage scales based on quality level. So that was just a test system. Right now I only have 2 weapons and 2 different healing items. One is for healing and one is for nano. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have and what I've been able to do in those 2 months. It's been slower than I expected, but it's a lot more interesting than I expected as well. Like the first month I was so 100% locked in. I would spend 10-12 hours a day sometimes just going through the tutorials because it was so interesting. It's still very interesting. I'm a bit at a crossroad, because if people are interested in seeing this project come to life and sort of, I wouldn't call this Anarchy Online 2, this is just gonna be for now a subway system. So do I do that for now? If people are interested in this, I would be more than happy to continue doing this. Or do I pivot, kind of reworking wouldn't be a big problem. Just change the environment completely and remove any references from Anarchy Online. And that's why I don't have any character custom modules or weapons or items like that from Anarchy Online, because I needed to decide, do I work as like a pure Anarchy Online fan project, or do I remake it into a standalone game and do my own ideas, which I do have plenty of ideas, and eventually put it on Steam and have like a standalone game. However, that would take more than a few months. Making my own game would take more than a few months, because I would have to design and figure out how it looks and all the systems, while this fan project would be, I think in 2 months I could have some kind of playable version. Designing this is not an issue. That's like the easy part. It doesn't have many details yet, because I just needed just kind of a rough estimation where things would be, how they would look like. But extending this is not a difficult part. The difficult part for me is the core of the game, the system, like UI, how to transfer information, but I'm slowly getting there. So I think in 2 months I could have some playable version of this, and people would be able to try it out for free, obviously. Now, probably the bigger problem for me right now is that I'm broke. I have like $100 left, and I'm broke after that. And unfortunately, things didn't go as I hoped. Mostly because last summer I had big expenses because of the health, and now I'm kind of going into the debt. I'm very obsessive with things that I like. If I like something, I do not want to do anything else. Like I said, I was 100% locked in and working on this. No one is paying me. No one is forcing me to do it. I just like it. I'm just interested in this, and that's what I want to do. And if I'm not making any money, well, I would like to say who cares, but the taxes also don't care about if you have money or not. You still have to pay the taxes. So that's my issue right now, that I don't have a job. I was doing YouTube and streaming, but for the last 2 months I've been doing nothing other than Unreal Engine blending stuff. That's what I want to continue working on. But if people are interested in supporting this project, I really don't want to think about like monetization, but I have a Patreon from YouTube. If you want to support this project and see it through, I could have all the Patreon supporters like place their name somewhere. I was thinking in the toilet, but that may be a bit, what's the word? Well, that would be a fitting place. Like normally that's where you see the names, you know. I haven't really thought about this. For now, I could just put Patreon names somewhere on the wall because I can't really monetize this in any other way. And if I do my own game, that would take more than a few more months, and like I'm already broke. And all those hundreds, almost thousand of videos that I did for Path of Exile and few other games, right now they are generating zero. In the last like 2 months, like six euros. That was one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to move away from YouTube, because the longevity of videos is very short, like 1-2 weeks and the video is dead and generates no money. And since I'm not really a big YouTuber, and it's not gonna happen anyway, I'm just not suited for YouTube. I started making plans how to transition into something else. First 3D modeling, which I really like, but also wanted to bring it more to life, so now Unreal Engine. So I'm a bit off with my calculations and my finances. I am not buying anything. I unsubscribed from everything. No Spotify, no Netflix, no Crunchyrolls, nothing anymore. Just wanted to do this for as long as I can. I don't see me making any profit out of this anytime soon. Won't be able to publish a game anytime soon, and kind of next plan is just to return back to streaming for a while. There's still a lot more I can do before deciding if I should make like an Anarchy Online fan project or my own game. And I will most likely post a video later on with like more playable version once I figure out the system and see if there's enough interest in people supporting this project, and then decide. There is one more program that one more software that I want to learn is for animations. I believe it's called Cascadeur, which would make animations a lot easier to do, but it's not a free software, so right now I don't want to buy anything, don't want to pay for anything, and right now it's not really a high priority for me. I can do pretty much everything else in Blender. I'm gonna be returning to streaming. Path of Exile 1, the new league starts in 2 days. I haven't really fought or built or anything. I lost most of the interest in Path of Exile. Not to say that it's bad or anything, just it's like a switch flipped and I lost interest in gaming in general, and I just wanted to create. Creativity was always my main driving force in life, and creating video game has so much creativity, from all the small things, from the UI to the models to animations to lighting to environment to everything. That has completely overtaken the hype for, I don't know, to play games. Even if I'm interested in the game, I'm just, do I really want to invest 12 hours going through the campaign and then another at least 6 hours going through maps? I don't know, that's like a big investment. And also like spending hours planning the build and then figuring out if that's gonna work or if that's not gonna work. I just don't have much desire to do that anymore. So my plan was Okay, maybe pick up Guardian, maybe with those new holy skills, and then figure out as I go. Maybe play 1 or 2 builds, maybe more, maybe less. I really don't know. So maybe a week, maybe less. I really don't know. It's just I don't want to take too much time off Unreal Engine. Usually when it comes to Unreal Engine, I know it's gonna be difficult, so sometimes the hardest part is launching the Unreal Engine 5. As soon as I launch and as soon as I look, oh, okay, this is the problem, I need to figure this out, I kind of just automatically lock in and just start working on it. That was one of the reasons why I really liked Pathworks 1 because it's just kind of a problem solving. You try to figure out like how to make that build work, and you combine all those items and the skills and the passive tree and other mechanics and try to make it work. But after 14 years, or it's just not enough anymore, I guess. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know what I've been working on, that I wasn't like being lazy or anything. I've been very busy learning stuff, and also let you know that I'm probably not going to be doing much Path of Exile stuff. I won't be posting many videos at all in general. I'm kind of done with YouTube, it's just not for me, I guess. But I still need to kind of raise my hand and show that I'm still alive, because if I'm doing a video game and I will need to expose it to people, so may as well keep the channel partially alive, hopefully. That way I can let people know when the game is ready and you can play it. I have to let people, I guess, at least know that there is such a project, and if you are interested in supporting this and trusting in this project coming to life and you want to support it, I don't have like a dedicated tier for supporting this project or anything, so the basically Patreon is open, and if you want to support it, just pick any tier, or I think you can even choose your own amount when pledging on Patreon. I guess later on we can decide how to reward those patrons. Maybe, like I said, place a name on the wall somewhere or figure out something else. I really don't want to think about this too much right now. Maybe people can come up with some more interesting ideas than me. But yeah, I guess thank you for watching, and I will probably not see you very soon unless something changes. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time, hopefully. Bye bye.